In this section, we will demonstrate the benefits of the NexentaVSA for View Calibration Wizard. The NexentaVSA for View Calibration Wizard features the following: criteria-driven resource allocation, as in CPU and memory, desktop density management for a specified I/O performance goal, automated tune-up to minimize resource utilization, and automated tune-up to maximize the number of desktops able to be deployed. Let's now calibrate the Lab 01 desktop pool. On the Calibrate wizard window, we have various options. Here, this particular calibration mechanism will try to increase the desktop density in a pool while preserving the required number of IOPS. On the next screen, we have the read-write ratio. This is the percentage of read and write operations in a workload generated by the I/O subsystem measurement tool. The minimum number of IOPS is set to be achieved by the benchmark. You can either use the read-write ratio that is defined by this target IOPS numbers, or for advanced users, you may set the read-write ratio yourself. The range for the calibration is starting from 20 desktops and increasing the pool up to 40 desktops. The precision, as the name implies, defines the maximum delta in terms of number of desktops between the pool that conforms to the IOPS criteria and the current pool of desktops. In this particular case, the calibration is expected to achieve 200 write IOPS on a maximum number of desktops in a pool. For instance, if we get 205 write IOPS on 30 desktops and less than 200 on 32 desktops, the result will be 30 desktops. Alternatively, if we get more than 200 IOPS on 40 desktops, then we will stop at 40 because the maximum density will have been reached. The pool size will be updated by the calibration, and the result's precision will be within 2 desktops. Next is the benchmark settings. We will select the benchmarking tool, either I/O meter or SQLIO, and set the duration for the test and the success threshold. The default is 100%. In this case, the I/O meter benchmark tool is used. The test duration is set to 100 seconds and expected success rate is set to 90%. All the required parameters have been set, and we are now ready to start the calibration. We see here it shows that the desktop calibration process has started. For more details, click on the calibration task in the recent activity field. The calibration mechanism performs the following steps. First, it runs one of the existing and built-in benchmarks. Second, it ensures that the read-write IOPS meet the criteria. Third, if the criteria is set, then it adds desktops to the pool. This sequence of steps is repeated until one of the following conditions are met. Either the storage performance falls below the specified IOPS requirements, or the maximum number of desktops for a given pool is reached. Step 1 shows the running of an I/O meter benchmark test on the current pool of 20 desktops to get the initial performance test results. The recent activity field shows the status of the procedure and that the I/O meter benchmark has completed successfully. Step 2 is evaluating the benchmark's results to ensure that the IOPS criteria has been met. To see the initial benchmark's results, click on the I/O meter benchmark in the recent activity field. The benchmark has resulted in 776 write IOPS, which is more than the required 200 write IOPS. Step 3, the criteria has been met and the pool is now being updated to 30 desktops. Here, it shows that the desktops are being cloned and configured. The desktop pool has now been updated and now contains 30 desktops. The calibration wizard will now run a performance benchmark on the new pool of 30 desktops to find out if it will meet the criteria. The I/O meter benchmark has completed successfully and is now evaluating the results to find out if they meet the IOPS criteria. The 200 write IOPS requirement has been met and is now upgrading the pool to 40 desktops. We can see the desktops are being cloned and configured under vCenter's recent tasks. The desktop pool has been updated successfully. View Administrator shows all 40 desktops as prepared for use. Once again, the Calibration wizard will run a performance test, this time on 40 desktops to find out if it will meet the IOPS criteria. The calibration has been completed successfully and resulted in 40 desktops. The IOPS requirements have been met by the pool of 40 desktops. In order to see the calibration results, click on the desktop calibration in the recent activity field. The total number of IOPS as reported by the benchmark tests is the red area under the orange line. The target number of IOPS is displayed by the red line. The calibration benchmark table offers an alternative view and displays the results for the benchmark tests that ran during the calibration. In our case, the calibration wizard ran 3 benchmark tests for 20, 30, and 40 desktops. For better analyzing and visualizing the performance data, switch over to the Graphical Statistics tab. 3 large spikes in ESX iHosts and Nexenta Store VSA's CPU utilization correspond to the 3 performance tests. The smaller spikes in between correspond to the task of updating desktop pool size from deploying additional desktops. This concludes the NexentaVSA for View Calibration Wizard demonstration. Please visit nexenta.com for a free 60-day trial download of NexentaVSA for View.